Good morning. So this reading is for Monday, May 19th. And what I'm going to do is just pull a little bit about our past, present, and future energy. So tell me about the past. One more. Current energy. And future energy. So looking here, bottom of the deck, the Two of Wands is showing up. This indicates being able to see the potential in a situation. This is really the underlying energy of where we are. And so identifying just what are your goals? Where do you want to go? What path does that look like? What direction are you moving in? That's all that Two of Wands energy. And so when I look at the past here, I'm getting the Lovers, Gemini energy, King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and then the Eight of Wands. So the Lovers here can be about the choices that you make. It can also be about a romantic relationship here. Could be some sort of open conversation, open, honest, direct conversation with that Eight of Wands. It's coming across as very blunt. And so if it was about a conversation, it was very direct, very to the point. There was no sugarcoating anything here. King of Wands, very action oriented, right in the middle. And so somebody here took some sort of initiative and said, you know what, the time is now. If I'm going to open myself up to these possibilities, to this future that I see in the distance, then I need to communicate that. I need to open up, be ready to move forward. And so that's all the energy that's showing up here in the past. When I look at where we are now, I'm getting the Ace of Wands, Four of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. So the Ace of Wands, forward movement, taking some sort of action or step. The Four of Swords, and it's really interesting because the Ace of Wands is action, it's movement. Four of Swords is taking a break. It's taking a step back. And so it might be that you're hesitating on taking some sort of action because you know that you need to do more healing work or just kind of ground yourself in some way, because that Four of Swords is about you stepping away from a situation to rest, recover, get yourself ready to either re-engage or go down a different path. Here, it feels a lot like re-engagement. But I'm also getting the Ten of Cups here. And so the Ten of Cups is long-term emotional fulfillment. And so the way the energy is coming across, you might be getting ready to act, or you might have taken some sort of action. It would have been a very small step forward, but it would have been a step forward. And it feels like almost as though you're waiting to see a response. Okay, what happens if I make a move? What is the next decision point, or what is the next action that I need to take? Because I'm getting the sense of act, pause. And that pause can be a couple of that either you need to kind of ground yourself again after taking some sort of action, or you're waiting for some sort of response, because that communication card, that Eight of Wands, is really showing up here pretty loud and clear in this current energy. But I love the Ten of Cups because ultimately you're looking into the future. You're focused on your emotional fulfillment. When I look at the future energy here, I'm getting the Nine of Cups, Hermit, and the Wheel of Fortune. So the Nine of Cups is about going after your goals and dreams. That Hermit energy, Virgo energy, this is a lot of reflection, a lot of thinking things through, analyzing, understanding, okay, is this really what I want? Is this the direction that I'm going in? What other modifications do I need to make in order to make those dreams a reality? Because that's ultimately what you're trying to do. You're not just having these dreams for the sake of having them. You want them to become real. And so when I see the Wheel of Fortune showing up here, this is Jupiter energy. This is growth, expansion. This is a positive turn of events. And so whatever it is that you're doing, I'm getting the sense of really kind of taking a risk, getting ready to take some sort of risk, or in the early stages of taking a risk, because you're ultimately trying to get exactly what you want. And it's going to go the way that you want it to go because of the actions that you're taking here. Let's get some additional details. Tell me about the Lovers. King of Wands. So clarifying the lovers is the Four of Cups. And so this could be connected to a past relationship, could be one specific relationship, or just maybe in general. And it feels like sadness and disappointment connected to some sort of union. And so this here indicates a shift in your mindset, the way that you're approaching situations, the way that you want to approach either a specific person or relationships in general. This is where this King of Wands comes into play. The King of Wands is action oriented, and it feels like you are trying to change the script. You're trying to change just the path that you're on, just all of the decisions that you're making, really coming at it from a different point of view. And we've got the Fool card here clarifying that King of Wands energy. So you really are interested in a new beginning. This would be a completely new path, a new way forward, nothing like the past. And it feels like the actions here are really to kind of break you out of a spell, is what I'm getting. It's really breaking a cycle, getting you to think differently, act differently, not be afraid, or to take some sort of risk to go after what you want. Clarifying the Eight of Wands, I'm getting the Seven of Swords, and it feels like the conversation was around revealing something, opening up, some sort of truth coming to the surface. And I'm getting, it might be a painful or an uncomfortable truth in some respect, but it feels like it needs to come to the surface. There's something here that needs to be resolved. And so whether it's in a specific connection and something here needs to be said, or you're just in this space of feeling like you need to get something off your chest, you need to move forward, approach relationships, approach life differently. And relationships can be anything. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It can be about coworkers. It can be your boss. It can be all these other relationships in your life that also hold significance here. And so it feels like there is a conversation here in the past that you were ready to initiate. So I see the initiation in the past. If it didn't happen in the past, it looks like it's happening now. So let's get that Ace of Wands. And the Ten of Cups. So with the Ace of Wands, I'm getting the Ace of Swords. Here's the clarifying conversation. So the Ace of Wands, forward movement, a new beginning. So we've got the Fool in the past with the new beginning. The Aces are also new beginnings. And so this here is very action oriented, but also open communication. There's a lot of clarity coming through with this Ace of Swords. Also kind of healthy boundaries, but it's really healthy conversation. There's something about the approach to the conversation is coming across as very grounded and balanced. You're coming across as very balanced. You're not acting from a place of feeling like a victim or some sort of wound. And that changes the entire dynamic. When you approach it from that balanced energy and you have that conversation, you're going to say things in a way that doesn't put somebody on the defensive. That's how all of this energy is coming across. So there is something very different in your approach. Clarifying that Four of Swords is the Knight of Wands. The Four of Swords, Knight of Wands, feels like you are waiting for some sort of clue. You're waiting for some sort of response or some sort of sign, whatever the case may be. Interpret the sign any way that you want. But it feels like, sorry, just realized this is on. Okay. Sorry if there was an echo for the first. I can't see that. So I apologize if there was an echo in the beginning. It's because I had a second microphone that automatically turns on and I didn't turn it off. And so clarifying the Four of Swords here with the Knight of Wands, this is forward movement, but it really does feel like you're waiting for some sort of signal, whether it's from somebody here directly, or it could be just in the environment around you. You're looking for, am I ready to move forward? Are we ready to have the conversation? What's on the other side of the conversation? Because that's what it really feels like here. And then clarifying the Ten of Cups is the Six of Cups. Both of these are about family. So the Ten of Cups, it is long-term emotional fulfillment, but you can see, well, it's probably not as clear on this deck. In other decks, it really is a family card. And then I've got the Six of Cups here. That's all about children. And so it could be, if that's not what you're interested in, because not everybody is, this is really about your happiness. The Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia. And so there's something about recapturing your happiness, taking a different approach in this new beginning, this new chapter, to say, okay, if I'm really going to get what I want here with that Two of Wands, then I need to really think about this differently, approach the entire situation differently so that I can get what I want. So let's dig into the Nine of Cups, which is what you want. So with the Nine of Cups, I am getting the Eight of Wands. The Nine of Cups, again, your goals, your dreams, your wishes, all showing up in the future energy. The Eight of Wands is here again. So it shows up in the past. I'm getting conversation in the past, the present, and again in the future. And so it could be just you communicating exactly what you want, getting to be on the same page as another person, whomever it is that you're having this conversation with. It can also just be about forward movement, that you're taking really affirmative steps forward to go after exactly what you want. Clarifying the Hermit, I have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is about you pursuing what you want. And so with the Hermit energy, it's a lot of reflection, just very similar to that Four of Swords, where you're reflecting, healing, looking for some sort of indication that you were ready to move forward. It was okay to move forward. I'm getting very similar energy here in the future. And so that Knight of Cups and the Hermit indicates that you are still kind of figuring everything out. What steps are going to be in my best interest? And so it's not that you need to have all the answers. I'm seeing a lot of new beginning energy, and it's kind of a learn as you go kind of energy, the way it's showing up here. And so don't be afraid to stop, pause, think about it, and then figure out what your next steps are. That's a very balanced way of approaching this entire situation. And so when I see the Wheel of Fortune showing up here with the Four of Swords, the Four of Swords, again, it's that kind of pause or break so that you can rest and recover. There is a healing element to that. But when I see this here with the Wheel of Fortune energy, that Jupiter energy, the growth and expansion, this does indicate there's a lot of healing that's taking place. I've been picking up that for a while now, that we're all in this kind of healing journey, healing from the past. That's exactly what this is. The more that you heal, the more opportunities open up for you in the future, because there's something about this wound that's been holding you back, and you're ready to release it completely. And you have been. You've been working on it. I've seen that coming through in all of the readings. And so I love to see that still showing up here, because you're continuing to work on it, which is going to bring the success that you want. So this is the reading for Monday. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.